shouldn't mix business with friendship.
Mm-hmm.
It's a warning. You know, you say, I went into business with my friend, this, that, kiniko, kiniko.
Mm-hmm.
But then when I started thinking about it in relation to the work that you do, you teach relational skills, you show people that to have community, to have relationships that you nurture, that is a lifeline. It made me feel like that warning is something that came from the top down. Because if you look at the structure of really big businesses, really wealthy people, who are they doing business with?
Their family and friends.
And in the book, Necessary Fiction by Eloisa Osunde, one of the things that stuck with me was the line that I think one of the characters said, that money loves circles, right?
Mm-hmm.
We are not shy about our desire to have material resources, to care for our loved ones, to care for ourselves, and expand the work that we do. And how else are we going to do it if we can't even trust people? Like, if I let you into my home, I should be able to trust you with something, whether it's I have you as a client or we are doing a venture together. And so when I think about the deep friendships that I'm nurturing in this era of my life and becoming a star, I don't believe in being lonely at the top. I don't think that that is something that you have to be beholden to. And I think it's important to, if you are afraid.
Welcome to Rich Core Aunties, the podcast where relational skills meets radical truth. We're your hosts, Christabel and Kachi, partners in life, in healing, and in calling things what they are. Around here, we believe that liberation lives in how we show up for ourselves and each other. Every episode, we get honest about conflict, care, culture, and connection, especially for those of us navigating life at the intersections of Blackness, queerness, and diaspora. So take a breath. You're in good company. Let's get into it. Today, we have a very special guest. It's my friend, dear loved one, Lola, stylist extraordinaire. And we never have guests on the podcast, but we really thought this was a really important conversation to have. And so here we are. I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell us about you.
Hi, Christabel. Thank you so much for having me. I feel so honored. And I feel like me being on the podcast is just a natural extension of our friendship. And if you have never seen my face, I'm Lola. I'm an Oakland-based stylist and creative friend and dear loved one to Christabel. And I have so many thoughts and feelings about what we're going to be talking about today. So I'm ready to dive in.
Oh my gosh. I am so excited to have you as our very first guest. It's so apropos that you would be the one to come on. So what prompted this conversation was that we were texting like we do.
We be texting.
we be responsive, okay?
Yeah, okay.
So we were texting and we recently started a working relationship.
Yes.
In addition to our friendship.
Yes.
And we're going to do a collaboration post on it, like just to talk about what we're doing together.
Yeah.
Initially, like when we had talked about it previously, I thought it was going to be about like, you know, your styling and my work with relational skills. But then you said you would like to talk about the concept of working with friends.
Yes.
And the tension that lies therein.
Absolutely.
In our society when we think of working with our friends.
Yes.
Tell me more.
Oh, yes. When I started thinking about this topic, the first thing that came to mind was the concept that you shouldn't mix business with friendship. It's a warning. You know, you say, I went into business with my friend, this, that, kiniko, kiniko. But then when I started thinking about it in relation to the work that you do, you teach relational skills, you show people that to have community, to have relationships that you nurture, that is a lifeline. It it made me feel like that warning is something that came from the top down. Because if you look at the structure of really big businesses, really wealthy people, who are they doing business with?
Their family and friends.
And in the book Necessary Fiction by Eloisa Osunde, one of the things that stuck with me was the line that I think one of the characters said, that money loves circles, right? We are not shy about our desire to have material resources, to care for our loved ones, to care for ourselves, and expand the work that we do. And how else are we going to do it if we can't even trust people? Like, if I let you into my home, I should be able to trust you with something, whether it's I have you as a client or we are doing a venture together. And so when I think about the deep friendships that I'm nurturing in this era of my life and becoming a star, I don't believe in being lonely at the top. I don't think that that is something that you have to be beholden to. And I think it's important to, if you are afraid of mixing business and friendship, examine why. Is it that you don't trust your friend, or do you not trust yourself to be able to repair or do what is necessary to not just nurture a friend relationship, but also nurture a business relationship? So that is the basis of the voice note I sent you.
Yeah, no, so much. And I was just like, yes, let's talk about this because so much stood out to me. And so let's start with, what is it? Like, let's delineate it, right? What are the possible reasons why two good friends, like you said, who've been to each other's homes, met family members, just like really in there, what are the possible reasons why? And I want to go by step with the different possible reasons why they would be hesitant to work with a friend. So let's say they don't trust themselves.
Yeah.
What does that mean? How does that affect one's ability to show up in friendship and business?
Yeah.
A lack of trust in self.
Yeah, that lack of self-trust immediately makes me think that if somebody does not trust themselves, it might be because they don't follow through for themselves. I'm somebody who I do what I say, right? And it can be off-putting for a lot of people because I hold up that mirror. Like I had a friend when I first moved to the Bay, and Shorty was trying to start a YouTube channel. She bought all this stuff. And I was also at that crossroads of leaving corporate America, making the decision. So we would meet up, talk about our journeys, and I'd be like, okay, so you bought the stuff. Did you record yet? Did you record yet? And she'd be like, no. And then I'd be like, oh, well, I'm quitting my job next week. And we stopped being friends. She like ghosted me. But it's a pattern that I've noticed in previous friendships where like people will be like, oh, so I think if you're not somebody who has strong follow through, you don't have a history of showing up for yourself, it can be hard, and you project that outwards, like let's talk about conflict, right? Like conflict requires a deep level of trust, and you talk about that a lot in your work. And so if you don't trust yourself, then you can't even navigate conflict from a place of like, okay, it's not that this conflict we're having will end our friendship or the business. So
you said a whole word with follow through, because me and you, same. I do what I say I'm going to do. It doesn't mean I do it perfectly.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean that it has to be a rigid structure.
Yeah.
And if anything comes up that prevents me from doing said thing, I trust that I can communicate
that part. Because it's not, you don't have to trap yourself with your words, right?
Yeah.
We are humans. We are fluid in our thoughts and emotions. But it's like the moment you get an inkling that something might not be followed through the way that you initially thought it would be, just say that.
Just say that. Because I think the self-flagellation and the embarrassment and the shame, and I think that's also why I love having these conversations, because when we bring those things to the surface, not being able to show up perfect is a capitalistic conditioning.
Yes.
And the conversations I have online and in my work really is to say, you're not alone. Like, as much as we show up, there's someone who shows up more than we do, and there's someone who shows up less than we do. So we are all in different places in this journey. So what does it look like to be able to name where you are in the journey from a place of vulnerability and saying, okay, so this feels really hard for me to say, but I am someone who has a hard time following through. I do want to do this friendship and business thing with you. I want to name, though, that this is something I still struggle with.
Yeah.
This is something I'm still working through. And then there can be consent. There can be opting in or opting out.
Exactly.
And then you also realize that, like, the whole idea of healing in community is that when we're able to voice these things to our friends and to each other, we can actually work on it. Otherwise, it remains hidden in the shadows.
Abso-fucking-lutely.
Yeah.
And when I was in your Canva today, I actually came upon the post of going down the shame spiral.
Mm-hmm.
And going down the shame spiral, like you say, it serves only to soothe the ego. The more time you spend in a shame spiral, that is time that you can spend in intimacy with the other person.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that. But again, it's capitalistic conditioning. Capitalism says that if you cannot get it right quickly, you are disposable. And people are afraid of that.
Yeah. And so I just want to name that if you're listening to this and you are someone who lacks follow through, if you're someone who is not your work ethic, I'm talking about your personal work ethic, not capitalistic, productivity driven, work ethic is not up to par. It's not up to the place that you want it to be. Invite your friends into that work with you. Yes, some people are going to be like, girl, I ain't got time. I'm trying to go places. I'm trying to make 7 figures. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. I ain't got time. But I guarantee you there's going to be people in your circle who are going to be like, you know what? I just left there 3 minutes ago. I just left that place of just like lack of follow through 3 minutes ago. And I got you. We're in this together. What does it look like to like move each other towards that work?
Move each other towards that work. Because at the end of the day, we're not supposed to all be the same people, right? So, and if you have skill sets that complement your friends, maybe you have one friend who's really good at sales and marketing or has really strong business acumen, and then another friend has another skill set, or you're the friend who has the other skill set, then seek to complement each other, not compete or try to be at the same level. Because if you really want to build something with the people that you love, there is no time for playing those games.
Mm-mm.
Like, just get in where you can. And even like look at the structure of an African village, right? Everybody has their roles. There are elders, there are children, there are people who hunt and gather, there are people who make clothes, and everybody has different skill sets. Some skills are transferable, but I doubt, back in the day in my great-great-grandmother's village, people were punished because they said, I'm not really good at this, but this is, I'm trying. They probably all leaned in instead of outcast them.
Yeah. So. I love it. I love an Indigenous wisdom moment, and that's really just that. So that's like, okay, we've addressed lack of self-trust, shame, all that.
Yeah.
What if it is that you suck at conflict resolution? Like, you can look back in your own relationships, look at the patterns, and you see that you are not good at resolving conflicts. Yeah. That, in fact, conflicts do end your relationships. Yeah. And you value this friendship deeply. And so you're just like, yeah, no, I ain't got it. So I'm scared of even like attempting a business relationship with this friend. And not only are we not going to do the business together, we're not going to be friends anymore.
Yeah.
What then?
Oh, child. I think that has to be addressed by truth. Because if you cannot even admit that truth to yourself, that conflict ends my friendships, my relationships, and this is the role that I play in it, then you're going to keep repeating the same cycle. But if you are able to name it and understand the role you play and start giving yourself the grace to hold that truth together with being open about it, seeking help, seeking resources, you're going to move in the right direction, but you're not going to resolve that until you are in that environment of relationship where you can actually practice the skills. So it is okay to have the fear. You should name it. You should be open with it and be vulnerable with it. And if you're somebody who is looking to go into business with a friend, you should set guidelines. If you know that you truly can't handle conflict, set a plan and play. Like, obviously, like, if you get in a fight with your friend, there's quote unquote no like plan, no structure. But if you have like if you agree with your friend, like, hey, when we get into conflict, like, let's meet up here and let's be really open, an agreement, a conflict agreement. So that way everybody's truth can be honored, but it doesn't have to be this ground shaking thing where nobody feels heard. Nobody feels like they matter because everybody's like, no, it's me, it's me, it's me. So there's ways that you can navigate conflict, but you have to be really open about it, especially if you're a non-confrontational person. If you're a non-confrontational person, you should not go into business with a friend unless you are willing to do the work actively in that space and name it as something that you are working on.
Yes. Gaining those relational skills, and I think that's why I harp on it so much, the skill to be able to repair is one that any of us, all of us can learn.
Yeah.
And after all, why are you even, if we're talking about friends getting in business together, we're talking about it because, okay, this is a consideration you're having. These things are coming up for you. You're having to reconcile with the fact that, okay, I don't trust myself. I don't know how to resolve conflicts. You don't have to get into a business relationship with a friend. And so this conversation will be null and void if that's not even a thing that you're considering, right? Or if that's not a thing that you could consider.
Right.
However, if this is a thing that you could consider or that you are considering, there is room here to gain those relational skills to be able to repair.
Yes.
Tangibly. What does it look like? I teach the 3 hours of repair where the repair is the rupture happens and you reflect. What happened here? What was my part in it? What do I want to name to the other person that affected me?
Right.
You take accountability without wallowing in shame, because we're not trying to serve the ego. Nobody's calling you a bad person. We're just saying something happened.
Yes.
Let's face it. How then can we repair after that reflection? How can we render apologies that shows a true understanding of where the breakdown was, and being open to reconciliation or not, frankly. But at least if you go through that process or you begin that work of going through that process, the chances of reconciliation are higher. And so, I am a big proponent of learn the skills you don't have to be able to relate to people better. Don't take it for granted that you should just know.
Exactly.
A lot of us were raised and conditioned not to know.
Exactly.
To stay separated from each other in business, in in personal relationships, in freaking like all of it.
Yeah.
And so then we can fill our time with purchases and movies and streaming shows and
Yeah.
all the other thing that we're trying to fill that void. So I really love that you said that like it is important to name it.
Yeah, you have to, because at the end of the day, we are all people and we're always becoming.
We're always becoming.
But you don't have to you don't have to remove yourself from, because I think that that's a form of self-erasure when you have people that you allegedly trust so much that, y'all go out to eat together, you have them over, y'all travel together, but you can't even tell them, like, yo, when you say that to me, I don't like it.
Mm-hmm.
And conflict doesn't have to be this like huge destabilizing things. A lot of people, like, you get in conflict on a daily basis, but when you have good relationships with people, when you have relationships with people that come from a place of mutual desire,
Mm-hmm.
I think this goes back to the post that you made about people, they don't like their friends.
They don't.
But when you have people in your life that you genuinely like,
Mm-hmm.
like, you'll experience conflict, but it doesn't feel like capital C conflict. It could be, oh, we have differing viewpoints or this, that, and the third. But then you're like, oh, okay, let's go get some ice cream.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
on the tip of just like we're constantly becoming, are there still things that you find yourself like fearful of when you find yourself like mixing business with friendship? What comes up for you?
When I think about mixing business with friendship, the first thing that comes to mind is, like, what if my follow through scares this other person away? What if I overpromise and underdeliver because, my capacity as an ADHD girly, like, there's days where I'm going, and then, like, I need a day in bed, but there's a deadline. So just honoring my own fluidity and being open with that. I don't really worry about the money aspect of it because we get the paperwork together.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that's a thing that people think about a lot, but I'm not necessarily worried that, oh, like, you gonna not pay me or this, that, like, I don't care about that. It's more so, how can you and I not just grow your business, my business, our businesses together, but how can we grow our friendship while honoring the fact that, okay, there might be some days where it's just all business. And it's like, okay, we're going back and forth, getting things done. And then the capacity that we have as people are drained by the fact that, like, we're working all the time.
Yeah.
How can we still make time for ourselves and the stuff that we like to do together? Does that look like a hard delineation? Does that look like, because I think the biggest thing that I think about, like, being friends with someone and going into business with them, the gray area of it, right? Like, all business or all friendship, like, separating them in a hard way, but does it really have to be like that? So, yeah, I think about that sometimes, but I think for me personally, us going into business together, just like me being on the podcast, it just feels like a natural progression of our friendship, because I don't view it as this, like, big money thing or like, oh, wow, yeah, I'm going into business with one of my closest friends. We're growing together. We're actually expanding our work. This is an opportunity for you to not just expand your work, but you are also practicing the very thing that you preach. So in this, it'll even grow your business more because you have more stuff to talk about.
Yeah. No. Okay. Yeah. Thank you for sharing that. I completely like feel you on, is it all business all the time? Can we still, and I think we do a really good job of it.
No, because we'll be texting,
We
and
be
then
texting about
it'll
all
be
the
like, okay,
things.
business, but then it's like, oh, by the way, this happened.
I feel like I really love how we just be vibing. We be going in and out of it, weaving in and out of it. And also, like you said, the paperwork was really important.
Yeah. And it didn't feel like a big, like, oh, what do you mean? Because what?
It's a co-collaborated on contract
Yes.
that made it just plain. It feels very much like a prenup, right?
Yeah.
It's just an agreement that this is what we are doing.
Exactly.
This is the things that we talked about, so that when memory fails, we can reference
Exactly.
it. So for me, I have fears that come up for me.
Oh, what are your fears? We're in a safe space.
Oh, see. Until it goes out on the internet and people lose their minds.
Well, but that's the thing. It'll go out on the internet and serve as a mirror. And I know it's just going to be somebody in the comments like, oh, but wait until your friendship ends because of business. I'm like, well, no, that's not the...
Well, you get a gold medal? I don't know.
Like, do you want a
Whatever.
cookie for projecting your insecurities onto people who like each other?
Weird behavior.
Anyway.
So one of my big fears is that I am a very, very big personality.
Yes.
Always have been. Ever since I was a little girl. If you look at baby pictures of me, I have always had main character energy.
Yes.
Still do. Fourth decade, 40 years in, same. Even more maybe in some ways. And I spent my 20s and the better part of my 30s trying to not make people around me feel less than.
Yeah.
Make them feel less smart. Make them feel like I'm taking up all the space. And it really has been in the last 5 years, I would say, most notably, that I'm just like, okay, let me backtrack. I've always defended my right to be exactly who I was from a very intellectual place. I understood that someone telling me I was doing too much was a lie. I understood it intellectually, and I will actually repeat it back to them. This is your problem, not my problem. If you want to use more words, go read more books, kind of thing. So I've always just like had that language, but I hadn't yet lived into it.
Yeah.
It wasn't yet somatic. It wasn't yet in my body.
Yeah.
And I think the latter part of my 30s was really me becoming it.
Yeah.
Fully, not just intellectualizing it. So that means that I will never shrink myself for anybody.
You shouldn't, please.
So then if I'm working with, even just in friendships too, but also since,
I know.
in business, I'm just like, no, I'm in a really interesting place in my business where I'm growing. I'm very laser focused.
Yeah.
I wake up thinking about it. I'm always thinking strategy.
Yeah.
I'm looking for skills gaps that I have, because this is my first time being an entrepreneur in this way. So I'm learning, I'm watching masterclasses, I'm reading books. It's a very, very like intense founder energy.
Yeah.
And I was telling Kachi about it, where I was just like, dude, I feel like I'm in a frat house, low key. I just wake up. I just wake up. I'm just like, so was my call to action wrong? How about the hook structure? I'm trying to figure out like AI, no AI. There's just so much going on for me right now. So I can feel that I am very self-obsessed on top of my already me tendency, right? So for friendships with no business, I can kind of like separate it. I can still be myself. I can still show up. We go to brunch, we hang out, we talk, and that is enough.
Yeah.
My friends and my people who really love me, they're good with that level of crystal. They just don't know there's another level. And now working with you, you know there's another level of just like obsessiveness. I don't think it will always be this way as far as business. And, you know, which is a huge reason why we are working together. How can I systematize things? How can you help me make things not so scattered? You saw my Google Drive. You ain't even seen all of it. You see, like, I am such a scatter brain. When I say I have like executive dysfunction to the nth degree, I do. It's actually, people do not know, right? But now, you know, working together, you're seeing under the hood. You're seeing all the scatterbrain. You're seeing all the like main character energy. You're seeing my obsessiveness about these things. And so, can you handle it? Because my thing is, last, I will not shrink, shall. But if my not shrinking leads to either you feeling less than, or you diminishing yourself, or you comparing, or any of that, it will be a huge loss to me. Like, that would make me so sad.
Yeah, that would be sad. But the good thing is that I knew this about you before we went into business, right? Because I don't know. I think our friendship is very special because we see each other, right? When we were doing our Organihu meetings every Monday, it's like, yo, like I think that container attracted very like-minded people. So being able to see you in that element and understand, like, oh, yes, she's thorough, she's curious. Like, I peep game. But it's also important to understand the context of our friendship, right? Like, you were in your 40s. You just got into your 40s. I just got into my 30s. Not only are you a friend, but you're like a compass for me. So why would I not be open to learning from you? Everything that you... the amount that I have learned from her just by being her friend, it's gonna make me so emotional because like you're so... Oh my God. But for you to even think that like you would make me feel a type of way, like, why we're friends.
Yeah. Because the people who do end up feeling that kind of way around me, we're not friends anymore, you know? And sometimes it's really painful because these are like either African, queer, young women who I just feel like they enriched my life so much. And I just hoped that they would see that even if I trigger certain feelings within them, that instead of that being a reason to draw apart, it's a bigger reason to draw together.
Literally. And I love that about you so much. Like, being your friend has expanded me in so many ways. And I feel like there might be times where I'm like, wow, like, she's so incredible. I can only hope that you're getting as much from this as I am, you know? And so that's the thing, because you have a big personality.
My God.
But I feel like we are similar fonts.
Yeah.
Because I also, like, it's things about me too that can make people want to shrink, and also make me want to shrink myself because I'm like, like...
You're self-assured. You know you're that bitch.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You show up, even if you are in process.
Yeah.
You still show up saying, I do know what I know. And that is honestly like just having been a witness to your work specifically and how you pivot and how you dare to be seen trying.
Yeah.
How you like if you say you're going to pitch a WNBA player, you're going to pitch a WNBA player and you're going to get that client.
Yes.
Every motherfucking time.
And we gonna be in Forbes.
Every time. Like, Like, wow.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, wow, right? Like, so I gained so much by being a witness to your journey, your talents, your skills, your persistence, your determination, your drive, your like mild-manneredness, but also like you will not take shit,
No.
you know?
Ew.
And you garden and you have a cat, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
Yeah.
and you organized, like, it's been only 2 weeks, okay? And my life has already changed,
Oh, I'm
like
so glad.
like business wise, but even before that, like when we were in the creative collective together, like you said, you showed up,
Yeah.
you came, you put in work. When you said, like, that is so inspiring to watch, you know. And to be two Nigerian babes, like
Yes.
really out here after the upbringing and the like the conditioning that we got,
Yeah.
we are building creative businesses. And when we
Yes.
say we're building it from scratch, we actually mean it. Not like Poppy founder who was just like, yeah, I'm building it from scratch. But
there's sand on the ground.
I watched my father make $10 million in his business for so many years, but he didn't help me. He didn't help me. He didn't help me. I just built up 10 million. Like, when, what? I mean, yes, there's so much in our lineage that we can look back at, but it's like a lot of times it feels several generations back.
Yeah. Oh.
We have to go excavate. We have to go find the strength from within that has been imbued in us by our ancestors through them. And so we are daring to show up. We're doing it together.
Yes.
Like, I am in awe of that.
Yeah.
And so my promise to you is that if you can stand me showing up, and you have shown that you can, showing up fully myself,
Yeah.
like, I got you.
We locked
Like,
in. Because I can't even think of a because I don't know. I think it's very interesting, but that's a whole other thing about relational dynamics. But even just watching you exist, it's so cool. And I learned so much. And I just can't even imagine not being able, because what even is there to withstand? Like, I can't conceptualize that. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I can't conceptualize that. You are you. I know what I signed up for, both in business and friendship. I am also me.
Yeah.
You know what you signed up for. Got the boogies. We are here.
Mm-hmm.
There's mutual consent. We have a shared commitment to creativity, to excellence, to curiosity. So I don't know.
Yeah. So,
and I also know that you practice what you preach.
Yeah.
Like, I know that you have a commitment to relational skills, to growing yourself as a person, to becoming. So,
yeah.
I need people to understand that when you like your friends and when you are in admiration of your friends and you turn that admiration into fuel that helps you in your becoming, like, I don't know, but my brain is having a hard time conceptualizing all the nonsense.
100%, dude. Like, for sure. And ultimately, we're gonna be all right. We are all right.
I have zero doubts about that.
Because you know what? I have been in many relationships. I've had many friendships that has ended. And any one of them will attest to the fact that I am who I say I am.
Period.
Always been. I've had the same fucking phone number for the 19 years I've been in America. You can find me any day, anywhere, and I stand on business.
Yep.
And I love deep. I love hard. And in more recent years, I've learned to love from a place of like skill.
Yes.
Too.
Yes.
And so that has meant that, like, even if all I had is like 5 friends, ooh, Me and them go
Yeah.
down. Like,
You
we
know,
go together so
yeah,
hard.
that's a good point that you bring up. That's something I've been thinking about a lot too. But that's a conversation for like
Another,
offline cause
yeah.
because
Because what are we trying to do, right? If
Mhm.
we talk, coming back to like the whole point of doing business with each other
Yeah.
as friends. And before I get into that, I do want to say that, like, really to not even overstate, but like state the fact that it is important that you like your friends.
Yes.
Because if that, like we've talked about, you can work on this, you can work on that, you can learn how to repair, you can learn how to move through conflict, you can learn to grow in self-trust in conjunction with others. One thing you can't, you know what, I could be wrong, but I feel very strongly that one thing you can't work on is liking your friends if you don't already like them. Like, I just feel like, don't be in relationship with people you don't like. There are 8 billion, or is this 7?
8.
Okay.
It's growing, girl.
there are 8 billion people in the world. Leave the people you don't like alone. Move on.
Period. And also give yourself time and space to figure out whether or not you like people.
Okay.
You don't have to rush into
You're
a
nice.
friendship.
Okay.
You
Okay,
know,
I know what you
like
mean.
you don't have to rush into a friendship. You don't have to. Some interactions are just meant to be a moment. Like, you could be on the dance floor with somebody and y'all don't even have to exchange numbers or Instagrams, but give yourself time. Give yourself time. Don't rush the process of becoming friends with somebody.
Yeah.
Because our friendship developed and blossomed. Exactly. That's one other thing that I love about our friendship.
Yes. Yes. And so then if you get into friendship with them and you like them and their hiccups and all that stuff can be worked on.
Yeah.
Right? That stuff can definitely be worked on. So on that note, the whole point of this conversation and of your voice note you sent me about like people who are like who are custodians of wealth.
Yes,
I don't know what to call them.
Yeah, the one percenters.
The one they keep the money in there. They work with each other, which is why we have nepo babies. The uncle, the auntie, that person, the uncle who is like 10 times removed. And they keep that wealth circulating. We need to do that here.
Exactly. And I actually noticed that mindset of don't mix business and friendship, I think it is a lie that is told to keep people poor.
100%.
And baby, being poor is not in my destiny. It's not in yours. So what we gonna do? We gonna put the resources together.
We are.
Not just materially, but the way we share knowledge.
And like literally, no, not just materially, but definitely materially.
Yeah, yes.
As someone who is from a place where I have to fly my mom to Brazil from Ghana yearly to make sure she has access to medical care. And she has graduated to my body hurts if I fly coach, which means she's flying business now. I'm a honey baby girl. If we're saying Black Lives Matter, my mama life matter. She gonna get that business class ticket and go to Brazil and see her cardiologist, her pulmonologist, her something, and something. And she gonna get her meds and she gonna get her CPAP machine and she gonna be taken care of.
Yep.
And that requires capital.
It does.
Do you know how much business class tickets from Accra, ACC, to Sao Paulo, what's the GRU is?
That's so random.
This is how much I buy tickets to. I know the airport like code. That's how much I buy tickets to that place. Do you know how much that costs? So no, material is important. This is a conversation we can have another day for sure. Because I think some of us, we need a reminding. We needed reminding that we are from opulence.
Yeah. Oh
we
my
are
gosh.
from abundance. When they came and stole those Benin
The bronze.
and all them things,
Yeah.
when you see Ashanti kings and queens decked out in gold, this little thing ain't nothing.
Yeah.
They got arm cuffs.
And do you know what I find so interesting? This conversation, even just around capital and building a business, I think that speaks to the binary nature of the world. It's either you are horribly wealthy to the point where other human lives are negatively impacted as a result, or you're destitute. And even expressing the desire to want to have enough materially to nurture yourself, because it starts with the self and then it expands outwards. It expands to your community, to your loved ones. If we cannot even take care of ourselves and our people, how, yes, the collective matters, but we are all part of the collective. Our communities are part of the collective. We cannot care as single people, cannot care for the entirety of the collective.
No.
It happens in our pockets.
Yeah.
And then from the pockets can take care of the other pocket.
And, kind of like you said, in how in a village, everyone has a role.
Yes.
It's the same thing. Not everyone, if you take a liberatory standpoint, you can take into account capacity,
Yes.
ability, disability, access, education, all these different things, right? Which means inherently, not everybody is going to be out here getting the money, right? It's just what it is, right?
And that's okay.
And exactly. It's not only okay, it is.
Yeah.
Which means that some of us who are, and it's not because to be the money maker does not elevate you above the rest of the people in the village.
No.
My partner, Kachi, will tell you she a baby girl forever. She a kept woman. The second week we were dating, she's like, girl, I'm a sugar babe. Like, what? I don't get it. I might have an engineering degree. I might do this. I might have worked in tech. I ain't got it. I'm here to enjoy life. I just because I don't have the capacity in that way. And I was like, bet, I got you. Because I do.
Yeah.
I do, not only the capacity, but the motivation. It's fun. It feels creative. It's just like an expression,
exactly.
you know?
Because it's if you're going to do it anyway.
So those of us who are out here building these businesses,
yes,
building improving the material realities of ourselves and
yes,
the people we're in community with, we cannot shy away from that.
No.
And we getting together to work, to resource share,
yes,
to skill share, to support one another. That's the only way. That's it. Because if you can work with your dusty ass boss that you don't know, who is a white woman, who is microaggressing over you every day at work, you can't work with your friend you like. Y'all can't, what?
That just sounds like a dream, to work with people that you actually like. And I have a corporate HR background, okay? I did corporate HR for nearly a decade, and baby, baby, I would take working with a friend who we have a common goal, we know exactly what we're doing, and we get money.
Yeah. And if that seems so far-fetched, dig in, learn the skills, learn on how to follow through, not from a rigid capitalistic Western perspective. Learn how to flow with the seasons, with your cycle. Learn what that looks like to be in flow. Learn how to listen to your body and communicate that to the people you're working with. Because one thing that is not that we haven't said as much is that we're building new futures.
Yes.
We're the future ancestors. In 100 years, some people are going to look back at us and be like, this is how they did business. We dig that shit. And we want to be like our ancestors.
Yep.
That's us. So it's not just working together to replicate systems of oppression. It's working together to truly build new worlds, new systems. And I was telling you this, the reason why I hadn't hired anyone to help me with work or worked with anyone is because I don't want to be exploitative. And I hadn't figured out what that would look like for me to be equitable and also understand that I'm in the first year of business.
Yes.
And I have huge obligations that even when there's cash flow, it's cash flow out. As much as there's cash flow in, there's cash flow out
Right.
in these big projects. We're building in Ghana, we're building a youth center, and all these different things. And we're moving continents, hopefully, in the next few, whatever, right?
Yes.
So yes, I had really qualms about that. Am I paying enough? What does that look like? But I try. And you guys helped me with this.
Yes.
You and Phyllis and Kachi helped me with this, where I'm just like, okay, just know that whenever you can bump that pay, you're bumping it. Like be committed to your center that is liberatory.
Yeah.
Like it is possible.
It is. And I think that what makes that work too is just the openness, the honesty, right? You had these fears that were coming from a place of not wanting to replicate the very systems that we want to run away from, right? But then also in the conversation that we have, first of all, I'm a really good pitcher. I'm a really good persuader. Because when I have a vision, I have a thing, right, where I don't care about rejection because regardless, it's going to get done.
Oh my God. You teach me so much with that.
So I don't care.
Yeah.
The outcome will be the outcome.
Yeah.
So just even in having that conversation and saying, hey, listen, I know that you might have this idea of how much you want to pay and how much you want to do X, Y, and Z. Remember that not everybody has the same level of needs. I don't have as many needs as maybe somebody else, right? Because, I got some things going on.
Yeah.
And so me doing this is not necessarily about because coin gonna come.
Yeah.
Coin is coming. Coin is flowing, right?
Yes.
But just the passion that I have for the work that you do, I'm highly engaged with your work, okay? And just knowing that and having it just be something that it fits the lifestyle, it fits what I'm trying to do, where I'm trying to go. So to me, it was a no-brainer. Yeah. So I just had to get you to see that.
And you did.
I did.
You did. And I'm so grateful for that. And yeah. Anything else you want to tell the people? We talked about a lot.
We did.
Yeah.
Anything else I want to tell the people? Don't be afraid to go into business with your friends. Don't be afraid to do scary things with your friends. I know in this day and age, friendship is heavily curated. It is heavily built around social statuses and all of this. Y'all know what I mean. Relational dynamics are a hot topic for a reason. But if you truly want to have a fulfilling life, you cannot have a fulfilling life alone. And it is going to start with you trusting the people in your community enough, or the people that you call friends. Because community and friendship are very different, right? So if you are calling people friends, but you can't even feel like you can address your fears with them, you need to reevaluate your definition of friendship. And if it doesn't align with what is currently happening in your relationships, then reevaluate. Do a Rico sweep. Do whatever you need to do so that you can have the relationships that will sustain you and the future that y'all are building together.
Yeah. Mic fucking drop. I have nothing else to add except to say thank you.
Oh, thank you
for coming on. This was a key.
It was. Oh, I love it here.
Yeah. We are our own, what's it called? Producer. We do it. We're doing it. We're in it. We're
in the thick
elbows
of it.
deep, So thank you for coming to discuss.
Yes.
We have so much to talk about on so many different things.
Yeah.
So if you will come
back.
Yes, I would love to have you. We would love to have you. And maybe the next one, it will be me, you, and Kachi.
That'd be dope.
Talking about something else.
Yes. Oh.
Where can the people find you?
You can find me at Lola Styling, Lola.styling on Instagram. I'm also on Substack, Hypnotic Style. And I talk a lot about personal style and the things that threaten it. I'm all about helping people unlearn the conditioning that is ruining their personal style and get you a closet that your grandkids going to be fighting over. So, and trust me, Christabel knows my work.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I'd love to play in your closet.
Yeah. Tap in with Lola. And just like I'll put all her information for Substack, for her newsletter, and for Instagram. Tap in.
Yes.
Okay. This is a stylist to WNBA players.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted.
I'm also the stylist to the star that lives within you. So
that part. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
I love you so much.
Thanks for listening to Rich Queer Aunties. If this moved something in you, share it with someone you love. And don't forget to subscribe, leave a review, or slide into our DMs with your reflections.
You can find us on Instagram and everywhere on social media. Rich Queer Aunties, Christabel Minta Galloway, King Kachi. Thank you for being with us.